This is a production of Darn TV.
I'm out of practice. Here we go. We're here. No music, no intro other than the intro that was there.
Little sneaky there.
Yeah. I was trying to multitask, and, show prep was going on. So, hey, we only have two of us tonight. Jordan Boyce, Brandon Beater, Smalls Medler, Craig. We threw out some invites. I guess we're Facebook Live, so if you're wanting to be a part of the show, tonight's the night. I can give you an address. Come on, sit down. The headset's right here. So
that'd be fun. Maybe we got somebody out driving.
Do we have any
stop in
guests out there that want to come on the show? And
I'll have to see if the Demon Decal rap crew maybe's got a break. Maybe somebody out of there could come in.
Yeah. Well, usually we can't get Adam to talk when you put a microphone in front of him.
Well, yeah. Well, we need to work harder at that.
Maybe Bruce wants. Bruce will put a headset on and come talk.
There you go.
Bruce Rudlin, if you're out there, come on and sit down.
Calling.
Yeah. But, no, live on Facebook here. We get together and do a show. I mean, wintertime, the Dirt Weekly has been the Dirt Tri-Monthly.
Yeah. Well, we've been criticized for that, and we're trying to get back on schedule here. It's been one of those winters.
Everything's just it's
sports, kid stuff,
and once
cold spells, work getting all weird.
Once you get in the rhythm of kind of doing life things and going through stuff, Peyton had some stuff she went through. I've been doctoring a little bit, trying to get a little healthier, and they say having a big fat belly like this ain't the healthiest thing in the world. So,
well, they should change their mind.
Once you get doing that health stuff, it's hard to kind of come back, and Bruce said he's going to wait for the car show.
No. Okay. Well, it was a good idea, Bruce. Thanks for answering. But we'll think of something.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. I mean, we can probably start doing them a little regularly. You've seen as you came in, Max's car's almost getting there to the done point. The body's on it, and
since we last got together, we done Watford City, so we got a little something to catch up on there. But the big thing for me, the big you got to start paying attention is when we move the clocks ahead, and we have.
Yep.
So
with
that said, boom, we got the extra hour in the evening, and that seems to motivate even those of us that aren't getting her done to get her going. So. And with that said...
And it's already March 19th.
Yeah. Last day of winter.
Last day of winter. I didn't even know that. But so if you're in the boat like Max is, Max has done none of his car's ready because Dad and Uncle do that work.
He's so lucky. That's not what you meant?
Dad and Uncle take care of the heavy lifting. He's supposed to do the simple things like get a hold of the sticker guy, get some stickers. He hasn't done that yet. Uh-huh. So he's behind the 8 ball. Whether his car's in the car show or not is depending on him getting his stickers.
I've been in contact with the sticker guy, and he informed me he had 22 cars to do.
In waiting. So in queue.
That's what's ahead of him as of Monday. It's Wednesday.
Now, fortunately, that Dad and Uncle still have some stickers back there from yesteryears that maybe we could just Max can be the piece together car from all the yesteryears.
Mm-hmm. A little hodgepodging.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get Max. We got to get Max ahead of the game, not on game day. So.
Well, for Brandon, for Brock will say this. For Brandon, I'm a late guy. I don't get things ready early in any way, shape, or form. The fact that Max's car is as far as it is, that means I bought a turnkey car last year and didn't have to do a whole bunch to it, and I paid somebody to put a body on it.
See, I'm kind of that guy too. If they're running, let's keep them that way.
Let's just keep them that way. Yeah.
Let's not take them apart too far.
Yeah, that's the way. Not Brock. Brock stripped Brody's car all the way down to bars, down to chassis, painted it all, and then put it all back together again.
Yeah, those are decades ago for me.
Yeah.
But that said, I was able to catch up with you guys over the weekend, and there's a lot going on at your race car shop.
Yes, there is, isn't there?
A lot of good ideas, and there is something happening, so that's good too. So
And Overflow had to come up here.
Yeah. Well, it's all angled in there like I'm used to seeing, so yeah. We got to get Max off the video games. We got to get him in the garage.
Oh, anybody out there have any
exact.
tricks to do that? Let me know, because it's something.
Harder than it sounds.
No matter what you take away, it doesn't matter. Nothing affects him.
Yeah. Well, it's 2 weeks from this Friday that they go in, so today's Wednesday. So
I think as of right now,
14 plus 2 is 16
you'll
days.
count the Max ride out probably at this point.
He's as far along as I am, and I'm still in. I stood Smallsy up last year. I owe him, so.
Brian Schleck asked if your car's ready.
Well,
it's green.
It's green. That's a big deal. It's not detailed yet. I haven't made a hood. I was able to spend the day with Steven today, Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
And I tried to draw him into making a hood. He assured me he had plenty to do without me adding to it, so I was out. So I'm going to have to wait for Wayne to get back from Arizona. I'm going to work on Wayne. So.
Do you use tin?
Yeah, we use what I call modified body. You know.
Well, you have a round car. You have the round car.
That's where things get interesting. Is I want to make a compound bend in there, and it's a great idea, but it's hard to do. So I'm gonna wait for Wayne to get back to see if I can corral him into any good ideas. So I have the old one, and that's the key. I'll go out and get a 510 from Gerdeau there, and we'll dig in. But
then you just wrap it in.
Then put the green over that.
You paint it in vinyl.
You paint it in vinyl. Yeah, because when you paint it, it takes primer, white, fluorescent, clear, and then it turns turquoise in July. So
vinyl is just vinyl.
Yeah, it's instant and it stays green at least till August. So.
And it helps to have Jed.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, Jed, and thank you, Damon. So, yes.
Is Damon starting to work in that too?
Yeah, he's the extra set of hands for sure, and he's catching on. So. A little bit happening there.
I used to do the RC car stuff and catch up with them. I haven't done that. I don't even own any of that stuff. I sold it all. So I'm done with the RC world. It's another one of them things. You try to get your kids involved in something, and then pretty soon it becomes you involved pushing them, and then you just get sick of pushing them, so you just be done with it.
Well, shout out to the guys that do race RC. They got different classes as we have in the big cars, but, man, those guys are good at it. They there's a lot to learn there, and they're all picking up on it. And there are racing families involved in it too. There's Nathan and Cody are in it, and Rick and Trish and Lucas Vondell are in it. So we got names that we're used to seeing in summertime in there too. So they are sharpening their skills all the time. And let me tell you, that RC stuff it's sensitive to the change, and the changes go looser, tighter type of deal. They race on road courses. They go left and right, but it's something to see that. A big deal ended up being down at the fairgrounds. When it was the third week in February, and again, impressive.
Did you go down and check it out or not?
Yeah, I was able to go down and spend some time with Jed and Damon and the rest of the people there, and I'm always in awe of how fast those things go and how well they drive them. So, because they're remote control, and as I say, when they're coming at you, you got to steer backwards. You got to pretend you're in the car all the time, and again, the guys that are good
takes
at
talent.
Yeah, it does.
We'll have Adam Bulk came on at the car show last year. We'll do that again because they're going to be at the car show again. So you'll be able to check them out. Travis Ulmer says hi.
Hi, Travis. I see in his own words he went from retired to hired, retired to rehired.
Yeah.
I hope I got that right. So, yeah. My favorite colors. So looking good, Travis.
Yeah. It's always good to have more racers or guys that maybe thought they were done are able to get back in a car because the more the merrier.
Yeah. It Well, at my age, I know if I step away, there aren't going to be enough years to step back in. So I'm trying to burn the candle right down to nothing. So, with that said, I'd like to try to do 3 more years anyway, just to catch on to Nodak's 75th there still as a driver. So that's my immediate goal. And some days it feels very likely, and some days it feels impossible. So 1 month at a time here. But yeah, so.
So the last time that we were on here, we'll roll down the SIBO Motorsports rundown, specializing in high-performance parts and chassis repair. Call Ryan at 701-720-3889. You should have called him months ago.
I have not been by his shop. I can only imagine. Have you been by his shop?
Oh, yeah, several times.
Ah.
He's got the shop's full of cars. But the one side is, the left side is. He was finishing up a couple of them to get them out of there to maybe bring some more in. But yeah, it's if you didn't plan before now.
You was waiting patiently.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, we're sharing the car show. They go on a couple Fridays here from this next one. The following weekend is practice day.
Yeah.
Both Mandan Saturday and mine out on Sunday. So followed by Easter weekend.
And last year we got the practice day in Mandan. But then the weather turned to junk.
Yeah, it was 80 degrees.
And they didn't even get to race until May.
Yeah, they ended up getting a bunch of rain. I don't think they raced till about third week in May.
Yep.
So you never know. We can't control the weather. To me, it's better to plan a race and cancel than to wish you planned one. And you can't because it's just too hard to make things happen. So, but today's weather was promising.
Yeah,
pretty
and it's
nice,
supposed to get warmer again.
50 tomorrow here, so I think close to 60 down in Bismarck. So
moving up in the temperature department. And actually, Brock and I were looking at the 30-day forecast. There's not many days below 50, 45, 50.
Well, I can speak for a few of us when I say sewers and water lines have been freezing up.
That means the frost
I have one in my shop.
Frost is coming up out of the ground.
I've been trying to thaw it for almost 3 weeks now. I've moved 6 feet, and it's still frozen. So it's my shop. I can live without it, but I know that Robbie has frozen water line, and Robbie has not had water for the same amount of time, so he's all in water. That's not fun.
Are we talking about Roselli?
Yeah, that Robbie.
Huh.
So,
I only live, a quarter mile away. I thought I smelt something, like he wasn't showering. We could kind of waft up the hill.
That would be our normal. I think the landlord's here. So.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah. So there's a little bit of that going on too. Right. So. We need it to warm up, I guess, is the message, because that will thaw everything. But reflect back about 3 weeks ago, we had maybe a little bit longer, but it was in the low 30s below, and that doesn't and that damage doesn't happen overnight. It's got to creep on down, and it does, and it did. So, there are plenty of things froze up that haven't froze up for a number of years. So.
Hey, Zach Heidebrink's checking in. Trevor Haas checking in. Trevor Haas wants us to do a new topic this year. It's called TRD, Moment of the Week. That means Trevor's been known to not to make the best decisions, so he wants to TRD would be Trevor's Racing Decisions Moment of the Week. So maybe it's like it'd be another word for like maybe a bonehead move of the week or something. Basically, Trevor being in the lead, going to win the race, and going off the track on the last lap, something like that. We were working on a logo. We haven't finalized it yet, but maybe we'll bring it up. I'll add to the rundown and have a TRD thing. Trevor's Racing Decisions. So we're gonna put
I had a Robbie moment there. So.
We're gonna put a picture of an outhouse on there or something, because you go from the penthouse to the outhouse.
If you know Trevor, this all makes sense.
This all makes sense. If you know Trevor.
Hascar. Hashtag #Hashcar. Right.
Last time.
That could get interesting. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Can he shoulder the burden? Maybe.
Oh, he. I bet he wins.
He's promoting it.
He will win his own award more times than not.
Oh. Well. Well, it's race season. Let's get it on. So.
Last time we were with you guys was right before the Watford City Indoor. So I put it first on the list to kind of recap it. Another great event, great show. all-day affair. You and I, what time did we leave in the morning? 7?
Yeah.
We had Brock with us. No, I picked you up in.
Yeah, because we actually had WDA wrestling the night before,
Yep.
and we came back to Newtown and hooked up with Brock and you in the morning there. So
Yep, and we had
I went back
Mindy
down.
with us all day.
Mindy came down. Yeah, my oldest came down. Tina and I's oldest come down, and she was a nice little asset.
Yep.
She might be waiting in the wings to be a little something here.
Yeah, she was picking up on things and had things rolling along, and
She stayed bubbly all day. So, heck, that's hard to do.
yeah, I agree.
Watford City. Again, the welcome is just incredible. First things that I saw, the track was a little bit bigger. It was more paperclip.
Yeah, they kind of narrowed the straightaways a little bit.
I called it a mini Underwood.
Yep.
Because it was defined straightaways, defined corners. I think that led to less Bowman Gray Stadium type racing. I thought we had pretty good racing, and we still had a little bit of activity there. Again, it's just that small. There's going to be probably some, but we reflected that maybe some of the participation stayed away because of the aggressiveness and the toughness on equipment. I thought we got out of there without so much as really even entertaining that. So
yeah, especially we'll call them the big cars, the slingshots and the legends. I don't think there was a whole bunch of stuff tore up. The go-karts, I think we had 1 or 2 incidents. We had one flip down the back straightaway right in front of the crowd. You never want to see that, but kind of the crowd likes that little bit of action.
It was something to kind of see that thing get up off its wheels and go around like that. It was a little bit hard stopping at first. He did race multiple classes, was able to hop in his other car and chase on that, but it really did put it in perspective how fast they're going, because it kind of it all looks cool until one starts rolling and pounding the ground.
He actually came back out with that car that he rolled, just had the wing off it because it was an outlaw mini kart.
Outlaw mini or go-kart, yeah.
Yep, and it had a wing. It looked like a go-kart, but he wrecked the wing, so he came back out and he raced the rest of the day without the wing.
I think we even referenced, I think we take off that wing and make it the rest of the day. So
yep. So it was pretty cool. I mean, I don't have the car count. We can look it up on Southwest Speedway on Tougher Than Dirt Tour, or on Tougher Than Dirt from on my race pass. But pretty good collection of race cars down there. I mean, for a Valentine's Day weekend, I don't know how it worked in your house. I know I had to make up for it maybe the next day or whatever that I was.
Well, that's why you found me in Newtown.
Yep.
Right. We had.
But Watford, there you go, race day. You had 15 legends in attendance, which was pretty good. That was higher than last. I think the October one is out from now on. I think they know just because of the calendar-wise and high school football and so much going on in the fall, I think that October one's out because they just didn't get the racer participation that they were hoping for.
I know at the same time they had the Legend Nationals out in Pennsylvania. That didn't help our cause at all. When we talked about it then, maybe a 3 or 4 week later deal, maybe closer to Thanksgiving. But you're hitting on really some what I would consider key things. Is that when this school season is going, and school sports is so intense, and there's so many people involved in it, and for good reason. It's a good thing to be involved in, but it is so hard to sneak one of these in. With that said, I was actually pleasantly surprised on the February show because, again, hockey and basketball tournaments and all that it's going on. So.
And there was some drivers or some slingshots, especially. You had this Tucker Sebo normally there. He was playing hockey. Ellie Ruby was doing figure skating. There was so much going on that we missed some of our competitors because they're doing other things.
Yeah.
And you can't blame them. I mean, you got to be involved in school functions and other sports. You got to be well-rounded. All it does is make you more of a well-rounded individual as you grow up. So,
yeah. Probably the reality of adult living is that you don't always get to do everything you want to do. You do everything you can do. So, yeah.
So I mean, we had 11 slingshots. So we had 15 legends, 11 slingshots, and then it's hard to gauge. Some of the guys run multiple go-kart classes. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a total of 12, 15, 20, 22 entries, but some of them race multiple divisions.
Yeah. Again, I thought their presentation was solid, and I apologize for not knowing, the driver in those divisions like we do the other two divisions, but Nonetheless, as the day went on, you got a feel for stuff, and of course, some guys were multi-classing and whatnot. You could see the guys that were pursuing seat time, and even amongst that, you could see the improvement in their presentation as the day went on.
Yeah, some young kids, some getting started, and then it's always fun when you pick. So Robbie has been the kind of the brunt of the announcers picking on somebody, So we picked on Robbie the first two events that we were there.
The flag man that he was.
The flag man. Well, this year was Maggie. Maggie just checked in, so that's what brought it up to me.
Okay.
It says Maggie says hi.
Yeah.
So this year was Maggie. Meg's photography. Making photography.
Yep. Maggie Kopp.
Maggie's towing service.
Yeah.
Push truck service. Fall on her face on the back straightaway service. It didn't matter. We just kind of.
Maggie, along with Brad's crew, the Southwest Speed crew, she was doing her picture deal as you're sharing there, and she was a jack of all trades otherwise. And, she learned all kinds of things about towing. There, you're right. Pushing cars out of the way, maybe helping them get started or whatever. She was but
she
got her exercise in.
And it takes everybody, and we do it in fun because you gotta kind of throw a little bit at, Otherwise, you sit there with some dead time.
Yeah, and she took it well. Thank you. Thank you, Maggie.
She went back and watched, and the next day or whatever, the next couple days, she went back and watched, sent me a message like, oh, you guys.
Yeah.
Because she didn't get to hear all of it.
We mean nothing vicious, just all in fun, and maybe lots of it.
She said it was fun. She rewatched it when she got home. Yeah, it was,
pretty cool.
It was a long day, but it was a fun day. I just went Facebook Live. I tried the pay-per-view the year before, just didn't get enough viewership. Just put it out there for free. Let's promote the event and let people watch it, and maybe they'll come next time.
Yeah.
If it's
nice of you for sure on that. And again, something you invited me along in the first one there, and I look forward to it. And I personally would like to see that fall one maybe get modified. I have learned a little bit that they do a bunch of motocross in between these two events, so I know the place is always busy with something and whatnot. And again, good on Watford City. I mean, that is a busy crew there.
Yeah.
I mean, they keep that building moving.
Here's what's crazy. Now, I haven't done any research or any checking into what's going on, but at that same intersection where you get off the bypass, right across the road, there's a bunch of dirt moving equipment that got brought in there. I don't know what they're doing, but it's something to pay attention to. Because when we were down there
I was going to say, there was a little dialogue on that they said, if you think this one's big, you should see the next one.
They were talking about a bigger building.
Yeah.
And
I'm thinking Gateway Nationals, the big stuff.
Yeah. This could be.
I might be thinking too big, but yeah. You got to start somewhere. Let's start big.
So maybe they're building another pad to make a bigger building. We don't know what they're doing. Like I said, this is all speculation off just looking at it, seeing driving by. So,
well, if I've learned anything there with you is that when they talk, as the old commercial goes, you should be listening because this is what they were talking about, and they've even talked about an outdoor track and stuff like that. So.
My only message is if anybody from Watford City is checking in and watching this or ever hears this or whatever, get some of us racers involved before you build an outdoor track, because there's specific dimensions to a track that brings good racing, and bigger ain't always better.
Yeah. Rarely anymore, really.
Rarely.
On racetrack size. But with that said, you're right. Simple things like head north and south and east and west.
Yep.
You would think that means nothing. That might mean everything.
Yep.
Depending upon,
that whole track
where your
being
trees are at.
That whole track being east and west thing is a game changer.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I think it's so big that don't just take it for granted.
Yep.
We have tracks that are both, and there's pros and cons on both. So make sure you know which one you want if you're
whatever side of your racetrack the sun goes down. Make some trees that go really high in the air that block your.
Y'all haven't experienced rugby, but rugby had it going on. Really big trees on the west side. Yeah, so that helped.
Rugby might have it going on again at some point in time.
They're tickling around. They got some enduro stuff going on. I know that I felt that once the grandstand was tore down, there might not be no hope, but they've drugged some stuff over from the high school, and they're making things work. So maybe another generation will get it going.
Yep, but
It's been a very fun track in my lifetime. So
the Watford City deal is, it's going to be next year again. I think there's talks already that it's going to be next year again in February. I don't know about a fall show, but interviewed all the kids afterwards as they got done racing, and Preston Martin put on a pretty good show in the Legends. Had it handled. Slade Pfeiffer, what did I call it? Sladen's final ride, or
yeah, I thought that was a magical moment.
Yeah, Pfeiffer's final ride. He picks up the win in
the win in the slingshots, and
when a year ago or in October, I think he maybe was the favorite and ended up having a TRD moment, Trevor Racing decision moment,
in his own words.
In his own
words. So,
and lost the win in October, but come back and
really evaluated his situation there and came back and nailed it down for his final hurrah. That was a cool moment. Yeah, Eli kept him honest the whole run there, and at the end of the day, give him a thumbs up. So
what a crazy!
That was fun.
We sit down there in Watford, and you and I are up announcing, and we look over on like a break. They're doing some water, and they're doing something, and you have the slingshot drivers. You have like 6 or 7 of them up there, all talking and hanging out. Man, that's the future.
Yeah,
that's
20 years from now, that's your A-mods.
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna go fast. It already is. So
it always goes fast. That it does. After that, I guess we're just into kind of spring talk. I don't have a whole bunch of topics. I don't know what to bring up on a winter show.
Well, like I say, in an apology, we've lost a little bit of our own draft, if you will. We've lost the lead cars, and there is none. We are it. So, but we'll get it going again. I know I can speak for my behalf. Trying to get something ready for the car show. That's important to me, and things I would like to be a little bit farther along, but they're not out of control yet. So I think everything's still on
most or
schedule.
all the schedules have been released now. I think last time
we were missing Williston.
Yeah, Williston released their schedule. It's quite interesting. Some doubleheaders. I think all summer long they do a doubleheader in May. They run a singular Tougher Than Dirt tour at the beginning of June. Then they do a doubleheader at the end of June, and then
look like 4 doubleheader weekends for the meat and potatoes of the season.
Right. Then a doubleheader at the end of July. They do the mod tour night, and then a doubleheader at the end of July. And then 2 single nights in August. Then we come back with the fall roundup.
And certainly the thinking there is that 1 travel, 2 events. There's some attraction to that as far as the price of getting there. So I think they got something going there. They've got a new local board. Some.
And I think part of it was from me talking to some of them over there. Maybe they looked at it as kind of a track prep thing, as like a facility thing. You get it ready, you prep it for Friday night. You're already there, so you just prep it right again for Saturday night. You bring people in, 2 shows, boom, you're off for a month.
If you have any experience at all prepping a track, if you can get 2 out of 1 big work, that's exciting.
Yep.
So, yeah. But again, as we looked at NODAC doing a whole different deal with point season being a 2-month deal, Williston's doing their own kind of deal of a different deal, and that's promoting double headers. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's a unique twist.
What's your plan for the double headers? The Big Green Motel?
Yeah, it's affordable. Real affordable. So, and it's parked by the time the races start, so I'm not chasing any of that around. So, but yeah, and we've talked about even the Dakota Mod Tour. If it lacks anything, it lacks that double header night that was there just to catch up with old friends and all that. I mean, racing's fun, and the serious guys will always go fast, but sometimes the rest of everybody wants to just get together and say hi and catch up on yesteryear and this year and next year. And
Team 21 wants to know, is Smalls hiding behind the chair?
Well, we haven't been gone that long. Come on, Smallsy, that would be an Ozempic moment, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All of it.
I don't. Unfortunately, Smalls is a lot like us. I don't think he fits behind the chair.
Yeah.
I think
we ain't hiding behind no sign poles, that's for sure. Which Team 21 would that be?
I'm guessing it's DeShaw's, if I'm a betting man. It just says Team 21, and there's a picture of Gabe on there. So
yeah.
Team 21.
Yes. looked like Gabe had a little bit of stuff going on Snapchat there. Things are getting lined up.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the shop, at least walking around getting the list ready. It's time.
Bo and Gabe are always putting things, giving you updates on Snapchat. It's pretty cool to watch their progress. And
yeah.
Oh, he's laughing at us now.
Getting reacclimated with the lug nuts and all that, I think was the picture. Or
yeah.
Wheels are going here or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting. Even when you were at our shop, it's kind of exciting to see, Brock has basically a complete race-ready mod. He's getting ready to stab the
stock
motor
car close there.
The motor in the stock car, and Brody's car had the body on it. The wheels were on it. Everything's kind of
talking about the wrap there.
Yeah, moving in the right direction there.
Yeah. It seems early, but it's not.
Taylor Heaton, does 67 have a new car? I don't think you've taken possession of it yet.
No, I talked to Paul here. What's today? Thursday. I talked to him. Or what is today? Wednesday. I must talk to him Monday then. It should be getting powder coated this week. We're planning on a next Friday go get it date. So March 28th. So that's the plan. It's
going to be put together and race ready by Nodak opening night or what?
Well, I know my limitations, but that's what Adam says. So Adam and Chris tell me it's going to be ready to go. I said, well, I do have a motor going and I do have a transmission and a bell housing, but I don't know if me and all that goes together. Well, that's all we needed to know is what they said, so we'll see what that means.
I kind of got the feeling that there was going to be
I like it and I appreciate it.
Some people making sure that car is ready.
Yeah, Brock was he was adding to the conversation, so I was pleasantly surprised and just enjoying it all for sure. So well, I'm nervous. Expectations are high. I know my limitations, so I don't know if I can deliver, but nonetheless.
Does it come
great
roller?
Group of friends.
Roller?
I'm getting what Adam got. So bring down 4 tires and 4 shocks and put it on the trailer and bring it home. Body included, not installed.
Oh, gotcha.
So the tub's there. On Adam's car, it looked like they ran fuel lines and brake lines and battery cables and all that. That I know that isn't hard to do, but
it's the tedious
when you're out of days,
work.
all of a sudden that's 3 or 4 days, and that might matter. So
tedious, time-consuming. Well, Taylor Heaton, I believe he got a new Jet hobby stock. I seen something on Facebook.
I seen some stuff from him. I wasn't sure if I was clear on exactly what they were doing, but certainly their enthusiasm's right, and that's exciting. So,
yeah. So Max has an old, new to him Medieval by Beater,
and that's not the same car he ran before.
Nope.
So
no, this is
that's Brody's car.
Brody's car is Max's original chubby chassis.
Right.
Which that's Brody's now, and then Max, we got the Medieval back that Brock, we put a front clip under way back in 2017. Brock did it, or most of the work, and we sold it to Terry Lodgeland, then bought it back. We kind of told Terry if he was ever going to sell it, we wanted it to come back because the car had some. Yeah, us racers are weird.
Yeah, some superstition in it,
sentimental value,
No, I know well. They're in the backyard, almost all of them. So, yes, yeah. So that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the sport mod thing, Max. I'm going to say it straight up, and everybody knows my frustration with him. He just don't have he's not ready for the work ethic that takes to be in a sport mod. Well, it's we'll see what he gets out of this hobby. Right now, it's planning 1 night a week. At Nodak, we'll probably make sure he's there. I'll make sure he's at least at Nodak every week, and beyond that is up to the work and effort he wants to put in.
Well, I'm proud on him all I can.
Yeah.
So,
Dan Orn checking in.
Hi, Dan.
Getting some people to start come on and view. I wish
we're so unpredictable that
that's what Dirt Weekly episode means. It's race season. Yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah, that's going to help. So, yeah, I don't know if we got great excuses, but we do have real ones, and so.
Maybe I'll just maybe I'd change the name in the wintertime to the Dirt Monthly. Well, and then come back to weekly in the summer.
We had big aspirations of looking at old trading cards and stuff like that, but man, as I keep going back to this, but you got kids in sports and you got friends as kids in sports. You don't want to miss any of that either, and that's on these nights.
Even you take the changes we made up here at the old headquarters.
Yeah.
We completely new desks, we got new setup, new things are moved around. I spent a couple days up here cleaning and going through all my old stuff and throwing stuff away that you don't need. Well, that takes a weekend or it takes a night or 2 or 3, and then you just
Those
it
good
just
ideas
snowballs.
that you think is an evening it's a couple of weekends.
And my grand plan originally is we're not even going to be right here with this wall. We're going to be over there with that as a background, and we're going to have a green screen behind us so I can put beaches and stuff on the green screen.
Like the weathermen do.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have a green screen so we can
we can have Hawaiian nights in January.
Yeah, that's the plan. We fixed
That's against my curtain that I use as my reference point. To see it's still daylight out, I can see through the curtain. So,
well, we fixed that light, but now we got a different color in there.
Oh, right, we got daylight and
whatever that is.
What is that one? It's pink.
Who knows?
Is that a black light? Is that for fluorescence?
But
it might be.
And then we uploaded we had a bunch of photos and I uploaded them. My mom, through her years of collecting stuff, I know it seems like so long ago. I mean, we've been without her for now 13 years, but I found one of her old scanners. I started scanning in photos. The damn scanner works like it was brand new.
You're just taking a break.
Yeah, it just took a break for quite a few years, and I uploaded a bunch of photos for the Hall of Fame, and it's just time gets away.
Yeah.
I don't have any other excuses than
it's yeah. Well, you get lost in memory lane on that stuff.
I have strategically moving forward. My safety meetings at work are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So now we open up the Wednesday night deal. I made that change in January, I think, because they were like every other Wednesday was a safety meeting at work. So then I would be out. We wouldn't be able to do a show them nights. We'd have to switch to a Thursday or Friday. So I'm trying to
exercising our randoms.
Yeah. I'm trying to plan moving forward, but NODAC schedule, as you said, we can roll through that a little bit. Championship night has actually moved up a week.
Yeah.
To I think the 22nd.
22nd. That'll be championship night.
So you're going to go the month of May, which has I think you have 5 nights. Well, there's a doubleheader at the end of April. What is traditionally maybe a practice day.
Yeah.
They scheduled a doubleheader at the end of April.
And trying to make up for lost time because of the late models on the 29th of June.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Because
putting a buffer in there of weather. So.
So
I get it.
They're going to try to get started with a double, and then
26th, 7th of April.
Yep. And then we come back the following week with the normal opening weekend where we're going to have an Estevan.
Yeah, Estevan Saturday, Minot Sunday deal.
Yep.
Band Day in Williston the following weekend.
The following week, and
so
then
we'll get into our Sunday routine.
Then the end of May, we roll with the Memorial Day doubleheader at NODAC. We finish up May, and then it's one short week. We have a regular week, and then we're into the Tough in the Dirt Tour already.
Yeah.
June 3rd through the
8th. Yeah.
Which working on things there. Nick Hulberg is out for the Tough in the Dirt Tour. I think he's out for the Mod Tour as well. Nick has expanded his business. PSP Network.
He shared that there. Going to be more, maybe Fargo area.
Yep, he expanded
than he has been. So,
and he's got to concentrate his focus on expanding his business, and he's going to work on that all summer. So we're going to lose Nick in the dirt track racing world. It sounds like
that will be a loss.
A huge loss. Nick is
he's a good caller and
one of the better announcers.
He knows the characters, and he is one.
Yeah, one of the better announcers in the country.
Yeah.
It's a hole that needs to be filled up here. I know, talking to Smalls, maybe there's some people that are willing to come up and do some announcing. Hopefully people don't get sick of me because I'm kind of the fill-in.
Yeah. Well, you're a jack of all trades, and those of us that have had you are appreciative of that. So sometimes things don't go as planned, and you're able to be
just
there.
Fill in.
So you're the 911. So yeah,
but
a big part of our Underwood show for sure. So
but things are moving forward. Tougher Than Dirt Tour. I'm working on an announcer. I'm working on a race director. We'll see which one I get, and whichever one I don't get is going to be my role.
Yeah. So you're going to do 3 jobs again. You're just not sure which 3.
Yes. Yes.
Instead of 5, but you might do 4.
Yes,
right.
But I've put the feelers out there, and It's unfortunate in the budget of like a Tougher Than Dirt tour. I just don't have a huge budget to pay a bunch of people, so you got to pick and choose what jobs. To me, a scoring girl, Jen Ravinius, is going to come on the whole tour. The tech inspectors from Canada, and then my budget allows me to have either A, a race director to pay, or B, an announcer to pay, but not A and B together. So either
I've seen you get through tougher challenges, so I know you will. But at this moment, it is a challenge. I get it. So
yeah, I'm not worried. We got 3 months here. We'll figure it out, and then mod tour wise, you fast forward in June. We're gonna roll through June. You have the Father's Day stuff. I think
for us in Underwood, that's big. I mean, that's our fair weekend. So that's been a favorite.
You guys get a night in at the end of May. Underwood's on a Thursday night.
We're going to do Thursday because of the conflict with Mandan. We want to make sure everything's open for stock car guys to go everywhere. So we'll no more than start. Our second night will be your Tougher Than Dirt weekend. Yeah. I want to touch on your Tougher Than Dirt a little bit more, not let you get through that so fast. Let's go through the classes again because there is an excitement here.
So traditionally, the Tougher Than Dirt tour, it started as a sport mod tour, and then it added hobby stocks, and then
because they needed their special tour.
Yep.
And it made sense, and it does still.
Because it works perfect. It flows all together. And then last year was the first year that we teamed up with the Legendary Tour, it's called, for the INEX Legends, which they team up the first 2 nights, and then they rejoin us again at Nodak Speedway. They go there Thursday.
Starting Underwood with us.
Yep. They go Tuesday in Underwood with us, Wednesday in Dickinson with us. Then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they go to Wishick, Jamestown, or Wishick, Mandan, Jamestown.
Yeah.
And then we go Williston, Estevan, Botno.
Right.
And then we meet up for championship night at
everybody
Nodak.
come back for Sunday.
Yep.
I thought it went over good. Things were cool. But there's more.
There's more. And I just announced it and put it out there on Facebook on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. Slingshots are now added for the... Slingshots were already being raced at 4 of the 6 tracks. Dickinson, Williston, Estevan, and Botno were already racing slingshots.
Okay.
On the Tougher Than Dirt tour anyway. So all we did was we added Underwood. On the first night and Nodak on the last night. So now I have to add another trophy to my championship trophies, and we'll crown a champion. Right now, purse is going to be dependent on racetracks. I don't know what the purse will be at the racetracks. I'm not going to necessarily set.
My early comment would be that the excitement level is going to be so high that the purse will be secondary anyway.
Correct.
So,
and a lot of places, I don't think they race for much money either.
Yeah. I don't think they do either. So,
I know some tracks put together a purse, whether it's $50 for everybody that starts, or $50 for a winner, $25. I don't know. I don't.
Some traveling to offset, if you will. So
I know that Darn TV, my family, is going to provide trophies each night for the slingshots, just like the big cars, just like the hobbies and sport mods, and then we'll provide a championship trophy at the end.
I think it's exciting. Again, it's kind of that end of the classes, if you will, smaller cars and stuff like that. I think it's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
And again,
so
slingshots are getting traction all the time, and I think for you to take them on at the Tougher Than Dirt is a nice touch. So
yeah, it as it was stated at the scheduling meeting, it just fits perfectly.
It does. Yeah, it does. It feels right. Almost feels late, if anything, but it does feel right.
So now we just got to work on the programs at each track and just make sure everybody understands. We got to not necessarily push the show, but run efficient shows just to make sure we don't get too late into the night with.
I know our dialogue in Underwood already is. We've usually ran stock cars in there just because we're always trying to get our minimum of 4 nights in, and we're okay with that with our July scheduling now. So with that said, it'll be just your 4 o'clock. It'll be the Tougher Than Dirt night period. So that's where we're leaning. So
yeah, that's hopefully we show up with enough cars to put on a show.
Yeah,
which we have the last few years.
Yeah. I think the name carries itself, and again, anybody with a slingshot, everybody will be out of school by then. I should say. North Dakota kids will be out anyway.
How does Canada go into June?
Yeah, they do. So because they start after Labor Day in the fall. So
how do we? two things,
hopefully
and
we
and
make
I
that
know
work, so.
this is a hot topic. The whole time change thing. Can we just stay on one time year round? I'd prefer winter time year round, but I mean, if it's summertime year round, it is what it is. Just let's stop with this time change stuff. It's hard on my body.
Yeah, it's got traction on the big scenes, so we'll see where it goes.
Number 2, can we make some rule somewhere? Can we get it on the ballot with the school board, or get it somewhere? Who do I have to talk to that says school goes from Labor Day to Memorial Day? You don't get to start before Labor Day, and you don't get to go past Memorial Day.
Well,
can we get some of that traction going?
Yeah. It would help for scheduling. Yes.
But it'd help in the world of just life in general. I mean, you have Labor Day being your final summer weekend. You go to the lake, or you go racing, or it's
go on that vacation.
Go on that vacation. Mm-hmm. It's your final hurrah of the weekend. You get yourself a 3-day weekend. You can go to the lake Saturday, Sunday, come home, and you prepare for your week on Monday. Whatever you're going to do, whatever your choice of leisure activity. And then you roll out and you finish up on like the Thursday before Memorial Day weekend or whatever. Mm-hmm. That week maybe you throw graduation into Memorial Day weekend. Most are that weekend anyways.
Yeah, they are. Yep. Way back when I graduated, it was on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
That must have been a long time ago. So not because now it's on Sundays, but you're not wrong. I mean, that would help with some scheduling. Now, with that said, school around Minot here would usually start around August 24th, 26th area. That is migrated to the 19th. That is migrated to the 16th. And I think it's like the 13th next year. That's the problem.
Hence my frustration.
That's the problem. So we go from the fair getting over to we're 2-3 weeks away from school starting. And then you got Labor Day, you got Motor Magic in there, and everybody's on pins and needles trying to get ready.
And everybody's trying to find that last weekend to go do something.
So when is it? Yeah. Do you end it at the fair? Do you end it the next weekend? Which for us, Cole County. So that is a hot sauce topic, and it would be nice if that was a little bit more the same everywhere. So
and I know
it's not.
There's other things involved, because like high school sports like football, volleyball, they usually get their practices starting in the middle of August somewhere, and usually that first game is
before school starts.
Right at or before school starts, right in that area.
Right in that area.
So I mean,
they got to have 9 practices, and if it's not on the weekend, that's 2 weeks. So,
yep. So I mean, there's other logistics that I'm sure come into play. I understand all that, but we as a society are so damn complicated with the way we do things. This one thing, can we simplify it?
Yeah. If we're bad at anything, is we can't explain it. We just know it's supposed to be that way. So, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
Because how nice would it be instead of, hey, what day do your kids start school this year?
Yeah.
Because that's always
we all start the same day, Tuesday after Labor Day weekend.
Boom.
So, right.
Boom.
Right. You get the 3-day weekend. Monday's Labor Day, and then you go to school the next day.
Yeah.
And we do know that you got to get 180 educated days in. So.
Because the other thing is North Dakota, we already spend 8 months of our life in winter.
Yeah.
Why
so
not?
Let's get all of summer we
Let's
can.
get all of summer.
Every last day and hour. I like it.
Is anybody on board with me out there? We got 31 viewers. Somebody's got to be on my side here.
It is complicated. Yet we keep rowing through it. So.
That's my spring talk. That's my soapbox in the spring. But and then Tougher Than Dirt Tour. Yeah, Tougher Than Dirt Tour. We got
we got 4 classes.
4 classes.
Will the Legends be with the whole Tougher Than Dirt this year, or will it split again?
Split again.
It'll split again, okay.
Yep, splits again.
Not a wrong answer, just curious. So
I think we're going to keep that split going for a while, just because they have traction. Those 3 tracks that they go to
do very well with it.
Do very well, and they run weekly there.
It didn't look like they were wore out. They all came to Minot yet.
Yep.
So I mean, that's going to be the key to making that all make
Chris
sense.
Yost agree with me. He said 100% agree.
Well, see,
I got one person. Brian Schleck says yepers too. See, we're moving in a direction.
Well, the next step is, and I can help you out here. You got to figure out what district you're in, and then go get involved in your district's politics, run, and then get involved in the legislature that meets every 2 years for 100 days
and
hold your hand up when it's your turn.
Do you understand how I'm wired? Usually when I get involved in something, I go feet deep, and pretty soon you won't even see me at the racetrack because I'll be a legislator.
What district are you in here? 38, I think.
Well, no, my house. What district am I in at
you're
my
in
house?
District 3 at your house. So.
District 3?
Yeah. And we're having an officer meeting on the 29th. That's why.
Are you District 3?
Yeah. That's why I got it. That's why I'm going to get my car on the 28th because I have to go to the District 3 board meeting on the 29th. So you're doing my part.
You're a board member on District 3?
No, I'm a voting member.
Voting member.
You got to start small here, and I am. So I'm going to bring you with. I'm going to bring Saturday morning, the 29th.
So I think I have.
We can look at my new car, and then we'll run to District 3, and we'll do our thing. So
I'll pay attention to it.
I'm going to keep you informed.
What do I have? I have something that weekend. Dakota Dirt.
Well, you're going to have to sneak in a little District 3 meeting.
I got volunteered or not voluntold. March 30th, so we're good.
Yeah, that's Sunday. So, see, you're going to be busy 3 days before the car show.
That's another thing that we can talk about. I'm going to bring this up.
Oh.
It's maybe you haven't even read it yet, but
it doesn't look like I have.
It's we got girls on there.
Jesus, it's your phone.
It wasn't Jenny. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm concerned about. It was half dressed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That I did see that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a pretty good deal too. So yeah,
yes.
Let's touch on that.
Yeah, so once Tougher Than Dirt Tour is over, we'll roll into the end of August, which we have Father's Day, and then we're already end of June. End of June. Father's Day is after Tougher Than Dirt Tour, and then boom, we're at Championship Night for Nodak.
Literally.
It's boom, boom. You have the fair weekend. What is the fair weekend? The week after Tougher Than Dirt Tour?
Yeah.
We roll right into fair.
Yeah.
In Underwood.
Fair.
Underwood Fair.
That's been a favorite. Again, county fairs are neat in their own way. They're different than the state fair. It's a neat thing to experience, and the racing is hot. I mean, McLean County Fair Board, happy with what we're doing. We're happy that they're happy, and we're going to continue that. So, yes.
If I had my ducks in a row, I could put this up for everybody, and they could see the calendar.
As we share, production happens during the show. So,
and I don't have Smalls.
I don't have Smallsy to ask dumb questions to. So, next time.
Because I have a calendar built with all this stuff in it for all these race fans, so they can follow the calendar right along.
Yeah,
it's
the
actually
message is clear to us. We got to get things. It is right there. Yeah. This is on you. You're the production guy. Now, we talked about this. You said Peyton could maybe do production, so you're at work all day.
We gotta
Let's get it set up, Peyton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have faith in her. Just get her set up.
So we have the Underwood Fair, then we come back with Nodak Championship Night, then there's some other races. Then we come with
Williston Fair. Yeah. Then the 4th of July starts up.
Williston Fair, and then that Sunday of the Williston Fair weekend is World of Outlaw Late Models here at Nodak.
Yes, that'd be the so. They're the 27th, 28th, 29th is Outlaw Late Models. RTJ going to make it here? I think
we're hoping so.
I think he is. So yeah.
We're hoping so.
Yeah.
Because there's no Lucas Oil stuff going on that week. We kind of looked up the schedule. July 4th is their next big race, and the week leading into it, there's no Lucas Oil stuff. So we were hoping some of them guys would converge and come over and.
Isn't like Ada and maybe Fargo and or Grand Forks or something like that?
There's a 4-night run that weekend.
So there's reason to travel this far. Is I guess where I'm going with that. So.
Yep, I think Ada, Fargo, Grand Forks, and then Minot's the 4th. The 4th one in a run. So
that is going to be some really fast late models.
Hopefully
they go really fast.
Come out and support it.
They go like sprint car fast. They're fast.
And then when you hit July 4th, we're halfway through the summer.
Sometimes I call it the big half. Because
we're through the big half. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to start late April and just concentrate. Yeah, it's like deadliest catch. You got to get a lot done in a little bit of time. So.
I didn't look at it this year. Is Estevan? I should go get that calendar.
They start the first Saturday in May. I think that's the 4th.
See? So. For you people at home, go to the Estevan Motor Speedway on the 4th and walk up to Jorn and say, Jorn, what day is it? And he'll go, it's the 4th. We're 2 months from the 4th of July.
Which is 2 months from Motor Magic.
Insights by Jorn on opening weekend.
There's your 4 months of summer. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
July 4th.
And then Motor Magic is over by September 4th.
What a Debbie Downer. That's how fast it goes. Yeah.
He will remind you of this stuff.
That's only 6 weeks away.
So then we get the 4th of July. The 3rd of July is you guys this year. Is Underwood, right?
Yeah.
Is that the Niffen
Is
Memorial?
that a Thursday? Yes.
Yes, Thursday.
4th of July is on a Friday this year, yeah.
Thursday the 3rd is you guys, the Niffen Memorial? Is that the stock car race? No, the stock car race is a week later. No, it ain't.
Cole County. Geez, caught me in a moment here.
Here,
look us up.
Just a second. Oh,
Production.
Yeah. Production. What do we got here? Did Marcus put it into My Race Pass yet?
I don't know about that. It's on our Facebook. We haven't had a meeting for a month, and I'm acting like it. So,
I do all this work.
You got stage fright there all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's got it in here. He's got it all updated.
Is he? Yeah.
County Fair, Independence Special, July 3rd. So is the Niffen Memorial moved to later in the year? Or?
Cole County stuff going to
Cole
that
County.
Weekend. See, what we're doing with the Cole County, we've got 2 big stock car pays because
gotcha.
Minot's Sunday is their 4,000 to win, 400 to start, so we want to keep the stock cars in line with the Minot
schedule. So it's not
schedule.
in or cooperation with the Mod Tour anymore.
What did it show for July 3rd there? What do we have going on there?
Well, we can look up the other one, but Legends, non-wing sprint cars, sport mods, hobby stock car compacts.
Okay, is it kind of a regular night?
Yep.
And we must have something special there.
Well, it says Independence Day special. So.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, like I say, it's a little stage fright here. I don't know what happened, so.
We'll get some
Comes
more
with
info.
birthdays, I can tell you that.
Well, I'm heading that direction.
You are.
I can't even remember yesterday, so.
You think it's going to get better. No, I'll help you out. You just hope it don't get worse. So.
Here's your schedule here. We'll just, I don't want that on my screen. There we go. What do you got going on here?
Yeah, there you go.
There.
That one.
So night 2, well, the whole Cole County Classic looks like it's going to be the special for the stock cars. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
July 3rd is just a
somewhat regular night.
Yep. Right before.
I know we're trying to have fireworks, so in conjunction with possibly the city. So
that'd be perfect.
Yeah,
I like fireworks shows after races. Then we roll into the Mod Tour. Mod Tour looks like it did last year, but the Mod Tour this year, because the way the calendar works, starts on July 5th.
Right. So the 4th is a Friday. The 5th is Jamestown.
Is Jamestown. Now, people ask, why doesn't it move a week? Why can't we put a week in between and it start the following, like the 12th?
Yeah.
The reasoning is...
Why not?
Well, it has everything to do with the fair dates.
Mm-hmm. And they moved up, too.
Yes, the North Dakota State Fair is as early...
As it can possibly be.
Ever be.
Yeah. And what that means is the last 2 Saturdays of the month, that's your fair.
So
the last Saturday it ends on, and the Saturday before is the second day of it. So.
And it's so fun.
Once 18th through the 26th, so there's still 5 days left.
Once you learn that of the fair, the fair is 10 days, and it always ends on the last
Saturday of July.
So you look it up, and you can work that backwards. With the 31st of July being on a Thursday, that makes the 26th the final day of the fair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because
people say it goes into August. It doesn't.
It has never crossed into August.
It may be Saturday the 31st.
Right.
But it will never be in August. So, right.
So it starts on the 18th, and the State Fair wants 2 weeks of NODAC being done.
And we can see that because the big picnic tables are out front, and parking becomes somewhat tricky on the 4th of July.
So they grant us to the 6th. That's Sunday. So if you wanted the 2 weeks, technically 2 weeks before the 18th is the 4th of July. So if the fair got their wish, we could be done the 4th of July. But they understand us and our big night being the Mod Tour, so they grant us the
There was one deal there not so awful long ago. Minot got missed.
Yeah, because they
We weren't
had
able to make the adjustment on the tour.
Yep, they had to push the tour a week later, and we couldn't
do
be
it.
on it. We couldn't.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I think that was COVID year.
Yeah.
And we came back with, I think, a doubleheader because the fair got canceled.
Right. You're right.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like it wasn't that long ago, yet it was. So apparently my memory's somewhere else tonight. So, yeah, so exactly. But, again, you can have all the good ideas in the world. The fair is going to happen first and foremost because that's what the whole facility is built around.
And don't bash them because there's no reason to. There's no reason. It's everybody works together. Smalls and the fair board work together. Everybody knows the rules. You know going into it.
You might nonchalantly think, well, why do they have to be those days? They just are. And when you know and understand it, that's okay. Because look at all the days we get with their blessing.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So
it truly is worth any inconvenience it may seem to be. So. Mm-hmm.
So basically, we're gonna race Nodak. That's gonna be a fun little weekend. It'll be Underwood Thursday, Nodak Friday, then we roll into Mod Tour in Jamestown Saturday.
Back to the tour.
Back to Minot on Sunday.
Up around Estevan, Williston, Dickinson,
and then finishing up on that Thursday in Mandan.
Mm-hmm. So. I'll tell you one thing. What I like about what I'll call our 4 or 5 tracks over in this area is we don't schedule on top of each other. And if this doesn't give you enough racing,
yeah.
Again, I like to look to see how many people did make all the nights, and it's not many. Meaning that we were given a heavy duty schedule to those that want to race themselves to death, and I've been that guy more than once. So that's cool. That's cool. And that in itself doesn't just happen. That's tracks working together too. I don't know where you went there, but we're back.
We're back. Not sure where I went there either.
As attractive as ever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I should probably stop doing that. I was trying to produce on the fly again.
Well, I know better.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Yeah, I got Google right up on the screen, and nobody. Wow, I've never done that before. That's impressive.
Ooh.
I better stop. Yeah. So then we finish up with the Mod Tour. Then you guys, Underwood has a Sunday show right after the Mod Tour. So that Thursday's the Mod Tour end.
Yes, and then that following Sunday we'll do 2 Sundays in July. One of them being the last Sunday of the month. In other words, the day after the last night of the fair would be our championship night. 2 weeks before that will be in between the tour and the fair.
Yep.
So and the reason for that is, of course, we enjoy racing at Underwood, of course, but you have to get in 4 nights. You can schedule, as I say, 14 nights, but you have to get in 4, and we've been able to get that. We would make that adjustment if we were one short somehow, some way.
Yep.
We haven't had to make that decision, but we will if we have to. So, yeah. And kind of back to your school talk there, that Memorial Labor Day deal. That's where we want to be in Underwood. We want to fit in that non-school challenged arena.
So you're trying to do what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We were having a race, say, up around May 10th, May 12th area, and it seems like when we did that, spring came later than ever, and it just made getting the grounds all ready to go. As I shared, there's a lot of frozen stuff going on, and sometimes that stuff's still frozen in May, and we've been close to experiencing that in Underwood, and a lot of us involved have got kids still in things that it's just hard to be in 2 places at once. We moved that back to the end of May, and it's just has worked great. It's kept the energy of the volunteerism up. They're not conflicted with school type stuff, and it's just a neat program for Underwood and that surrounding area. It works great, I think, and we continue to do it that way. So all in all, that's been a very good deal. So. A couple enduros too.
Robin Deschamps.
Yeah.
I don't know why you can't share it. I'm not 100% sure. I just went in and checked the settings, and I'm public. The post is public. I don't know. I'll have to look at it afterwards. I guess as far as I can see, you should be able to share. That doesn't mean anything. because I'm kind of Facebook dumb when it comes
This fun
to
interview?
Yeah, I'm kind of everything looks like it should. So, but Taylor Heaton says he's happy to see all the doubleheaders
Yeah. Well, again, and they travel from away, so
from Baker, Montana.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Like I said, they're one tank in getting there, and they're 2 features heading home with the same tanks. So
you guys are
that is exciting.
Robin, you're Deshaw. Isn't it Gabe Deshaw? She said it's pronounced like Gabe's because it's Gabe Deshaw.
Is she related?
Yeah, I think they're cousins.
Okay.
Her husband.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Which I work with at Select.
Oh.
So
well, let's bring him in and let's see how you do at work.
he borrowed me a loader one night so I could go out and
well, apparently you're a good guy then.
yeah, so I could go pull a truck out of some mud in Montana.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
Road restrictions on yet?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep.
Are you paying attention?
Yep. Yep.
You're supposed to say that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we get through August. We have the Cole County Classic right away, or not through August. Get through July. Cole County Classic the first weekend in August.
Yep. 5th and 6th, I believe, and
then Nodak comes back on the 7th right after that.
Yep, and there's Sunday after
and
that.
Then that's
they
when
shared that stock car deal is going to be the whole weekend of that.
Yep.
We think there'll be some Iowa traveling on that. I know Smallsy and Mark has been talking and want to ramp that up. So
sounds like a fun weekend.
Yeah, it does. Kind of a mini boon, if you will, or kind of almost its own little tour, possibly. I mean, it's what are the numbers? 425. I think we're 1,000 the first night, 25 the second night, and then 4,000 for Minot. So
it's a lot of money.
What are we talking there? 8,500. So 7,500. So
might as well get a stock car if you don't have one now.
Well, with that said, there's plenty of people getting them. So yeah, stock cars are the fad.
And I seen one of the Greens commented earlier. I think it was Sean Green commented. He said hi to us. Did you guys sell all your stuff yet, Sean?
Yeah, I know Sean had some stuff for sale there. We got together last fall and talked a little bit, but
sounds like they're taking a break. The Greens are going to kind of take a break from racing for a little while and do some life stuff, which is normal. I mean, life happens. You can't race.
Life does happen, so
you can't race forever. Not everybody's wired like Jorn.
Nor should they be. Oh my!
Or the beaters in that sense. We don't seem to go anywhere. So,
yeah.
Once we're through, we start Nodak's month of money or whatever they're calling it, month of stars or
the August deal.
August deal.
A class A night has a 4,000 to win 400 start deal. Stockers kick it off.
The banker checked in.
Oh. Well, I didn't miss my payment, did I? I didn't, but I'm going to. I got to get something cooking here, so.
Yeah. The banker, I think, is on the board now at Nodak.
Oh, yeah. Smallsy talked about. Well,
I think
she was interested anyway. I'm not clear on that. Again, we haven't met for a while.
Yeah.
I don't have my ducks all lined up here anymore.
She's going to straighten that old Smallsy up on the board. I like it.
Well, yeah. She's thought she's done hard things. She's going to do hard things. So. Good to hear. Yeah. How's the race car loaning department going this year?
Yeah. Jenny and I did go to the bank this week, but we did not do anything with race cars.
Yeah. Well, she was here earlier, and it sounds like you landed something.
Yeah, she's pretty excited for her new pickup that she's going to get. So
yeah, Jenny likes blue. She's going to get a blue pickup.
Yep.
Good on her.
But once we're through, so we have the month of Nodak Speedway Stars of August. I can't remember what it's called. Where's the poster at? I had the poster here a while ago, but you got stock cars.
It's actually a neat promotion in August.
I think you got stock cars, modifieds the following week. Then the following week is sport mods, and then hobbies rounds it out. And there's a memorial night each night, and it's 4,000 to win.
I think the hobbies and modifieds are backwards. I think Monty Lundy deal's at the end again.
Okay.
But yes. Neat idea, neat format, and yes.
We'll have another
it's an
show.
Explosive schedule of Nodak's got a explosive schedule here.
Dylan, that ain't gonna work.
Our Dylan?
Dilly Bar.
My Dylan?
We got a problem with that weekend, maybe Dylan. I gotta look up Nodak's schedule. He says October 11th we got a wedding party.
Yeah.
Is
Dilly Bar's tying the knot. And the Legend Nationals are here.
that the same weekend? Or is
What's he saying?
Is the Legend Nationals the following weekend?
Dilly, what day are you getting married again?
The 11th.
The 11th.
When's the Legend
I think
Nationals?
it's the 9th through the 11th.
Here, just a second. We're going to solve this.
Holy Dilly Bar. We're going to get we're trying to see the calendar from here. All we can see is the calendar, no numbers. There it is. DBI and MBI tying the knot.
You know what the worst part is? My calendar doesn't
Stops in September.
doesn't even go to October.
Uh-oh.
Man.
Uh-oh. Dilly Bar moved in a new house.
Did he?
Well,
I heard he's been trying to
I
sell.
should say
I
he got the
see all
cement
that
pads
stuff.
poured. Dilly Bar, did you get the house in yet?
He'll comment here shortly. October 11 is the Legend Dirt Nationals.
Yes. His own brother is going to have to decide.
Oh, man.
Bryce, Dilly Bar.
Now I feel terrible because I really want to go to Dilly Bar's.
Let me just interject this. I got married on October 21st. Just helping you out here. Because I know we're not racing in North Dakota on the 21st. Maybe at Watford City, but we're not racing outside.
Okay. So he says it's the same weekend. Bryce and him made a deal. If he's leading national points, he gets to go racing. So if Bryce is leading national points, he gets to go racing rather than to his brother's wedding. But if he's not leading national points, he has to skip racing and go to the wedding.
Well, that's a pretty tall order there, so I'll see Brycey at the wedding.
The problem is with me is I've already committed to help. So like that Legend National deal, it's on Legend Nation TV or something. It's on, and they've already reached
You got some
out.
production in it?
They've already reached out to me to produce the show for them, and they're going to send some personalities up. I'm guessing an announcer. I'm guessing some people that are tied in with Legends, INEX Legends and stuff. So I'm kind of already committed to being at the Nodak Speedway.
Dilly Bar, where are you getting married at?
Is it in Minot?
Washburn's only an hour away. This is the point I'm making. And
I'll be there.
And if we're racing on the 11th, we're not racing at night.
No,
It'll be too cold. We're going to race at noon.
We will. Jenny and I will load up, and we will be there. And he said they're still homeless.
Oh, they're still homeless. Okay, well, Dilly, I saw you were getting stuff laid out there. His infrastructure's just trying him bad, and I assured him it's just normal. He's not digging normal. Well, I thought the pads report. I thought maybe the home come in, but well, you're prepared, and that's a start.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a heck of a time getting his power moved around. But
is that what it is?
Yeah. Everything. Hang in there, Dilly.
Yeah. So, dang, that was almost some big controversy here on the Dirt Weekly trying to figure that out.
Wow. We might have to take a moment.
It's in Washburn, he said. So, I mean,
that's an hour away.
That's only an hour.
Yeah.
So we roll through the program, and then we're on the road by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Someone must be on the road earlier because I'm guessing he's getting married in the middle of the day.
Well, you'll be down there. Stock cars don't race in Minot, so I fully expect you not to be there. But
Right.
the rest of us,
yeah.
well, maybe only me. I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know. Bryce can ride with me, I guess, down afterwards.
Yeah. We'll think of something.
And then back to Minot or
if there's no snow on the ground, because there has been before. So we'll see. Yeah. At any rate, an aggressive schedule, a fun schedule.
Yeah.
Boy.
Busy summer. We'll go through it in more detail. What we'll do is I'll do some production stuff and come up with monthly things and put on the screen for everybody, and they can kind of see bang, 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 bang.
Look at your truck and trailer tires because they're going to be moving.
Yeah.
With that said,
Yes.
I put 4 new ones on last year. So
and
I'm
you
ready.
lost one.
5, technically. Right. And I got 4 to show. Right. 1 took off on me on the Williston
And you still
doubleheader.
haven't found it yet.
No, well, I looked on the second trip, but I came home with nothing. So I'm 5 deep, and I got 4 to show. So I had to get a wheel too. I'm serious.
Back to this other deal that John Gartner has decided to put something on, which I think is a great deal.
Yeah.
John Gartner, he's going to host. It's at Midway Lanes on Sunday, March 30th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Seems like a long time to be in there, but I am attending. I've been tasked with bringing some videos and stuff.
Make the call.
You make the call videos, basically.
Yeah.
And
well, what it is training for some officials.
Yep. Any official is invited. Anybody that does officiating, flagmen, race directors, corner judges, anybody that wants to come. Basically, it's going to be an interaction between everybody and just discuss how calls are made or what's the theory behind making some calls, and all kinds of stuff. He's got a revised seminar that's been used to train officials in NASCAR or across North Dakota. That he's done this in the past.
I was going to say, I thought there was something like that before, but
and he's bringing it back, but with a revised seminar to try to help.
I'll go first. As a driver, I like the fact that everybody might be reading out of the same book. It just helps to understand. As I've shared before, different tracks have different ideas of fair and square. We talk about some tracks land on a yellow checkered, some won't. Things like that. And that's still unique, but nonetheless, when you're making the judgment call, it would be, as a driver, it'd be nice if everybody could call that the same way as best as humanly possible. And that kind of course is going to do that. So.
Yep, and I hope more people attend. The biggest thing about any of this racing stuff is drop your ego, leave it at the gate, leave it at the door, whatever. Go in there with an open attitude, and just because maybe you don't like me because I called you for a bad call, just listen to what we're saying and our reasonings behind it, because we're all humans.
Yeah.
The
first thing that comes up is you're favoring so and so. You make the call so knee-jerk reaction, you don't have time to think about that kind of stuff. I've been in there with you.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I saw. And
you have about 8 seconds to make a call.
And you actually make it in about 1. You got about 8 to call it out.
Right. Right. And
because they're halfway around wondering where they're lining up. True that. So
you don't have time to process. Well, this guy, he bought me dinner last week. I owe him a call. No.
Just the facts here, ma'am. It is. So
you don't have time for that. And then there's
you'll be accused of it, but you don't.
The other biggest thing that when I get there, I'm just a participating member. I'm no part of putting this thing on. John asked me to bring some videos. I'll bring some videos. But the biggest thing that I want to portray is the angle of viewing whatever transpired out on the racetrack. It's something that in Underwood, being up in the booth, down at turn 1 is the hardest angle for a guy like me from being up in the booth to see what happened. And having a guy in the infield looking out, you got to have it. Because I see it completely different from my view than he did from the infield.
A great example, and you can parallel it quickly with the football deal.
Exactly.
Because I've watched these football deals. Geez, that was out of bounds. It was no brainer. Then they show the camera from the other side. It's like he was in a foot. It wasn't even close. You're right. The angle matters greatly, and we're doing our best to have corner marshals down there that
you're sitting in the stands and you see it from the stands angle, and you might be directly behind the car, or you don't see from the other side.
You can't tell what's 4 feet in front of that bumper. You think it touched the car ahead of him. It might not have. It may have. I mean, you're looking for the back end to come up in the air or whatever you're looking for, but you really need that corner marshal side angle to communicate with you. So.
Yep. No, that's the biggest thing is utilizing some different, angles and stuff, because, man, it gets
people with experience in the room, what they do.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not involved in these things, but I think the platform is right.
Yep.
Just to have the same language.
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
I like it too.
John, continues even after not owning the mod tour. He's still trying to continue to give back to dirt track racing. I think he's fully retired now.
I think he is, and got to spend some time with him this fall here and stuff like that. And he's got a genuine passion for it, and it really does show in that deal, because that is not a favored part of this. I mean, you'll never get praised for the right call. You always get bastardized for the wrong call. So, good on him, and we get in that every once in a while here. It's a tough department.
And I think it says on there it's $10 that will be billed to the racetracks. I'm willing to put it out there. If you're an official and your racetrack doesn't want to pay the $10 for you to go or doesn't want you to go, I'll pay the $10.
Yeah, it's for lunch.
Yeah, it pays for lunch, but whatever. I'm not going to let anybody be turned away by the cost of it or
don't
whatever.
Don't miss this for 10.
Yeah, don't miss this. Just tell me and I'll take care of it or whatever, because I think more the merrier. And maybe at some point we turn this into like a car show deal, and we try to get drivers in the room to explain, have the drivers there with some officials and try to just go through some of this stuff, why we're calling what we're calling, why we're seeing what we're seeing, what the drivers are seeing,
That could really grow to a multi-dimensional deal because on your make the call video type of deal, I mean, as an official, you're gonna do what your experience tells you to do, but what does Travis and Aaron say about it?
Right.
Type of deal. So, I mean, what did they see? I mean, what did they feel in the car? I'm just grabbing names there. But
I have a perfect one that I'm going to bring down there, and it involves some in-car camera stuff that I got. It involves the high shot, and it was of a Mandan race that involved, I think, Donald Robinson and somebody else, whatever. But I'm going to bring that stuff down there and just to kind of give you from an in-car view, from a top view, the fans, officials are seeing this, and, from in the car you see that. And
as multi-angle as you can.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to locate.
In sports, we're privileged to see so many different angles, and you can change your call pretty quick, where we expect it fast before the next lap because the contested drivers are fighting for that spot, and they want to know.
And John
who's
just commented, hey, thanks for watching, John. We appreciate you. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things that they're going to work on is policies and procedures that are written down so everybody understands what's going on, which is huge.
Well, if nothing else, we're constantly trying to keep, if you will, Western North Dakota all on the same page, with the tour and even our weekly shows and stuff like that. I think that this here is just going to enhance that experience. Yeah. So good on you, John. Glad to see you too. So hope you wintered well. I did. I'm not blowing around in the wind, I can tell you that. So
yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited to go participate in that. I think it's going to be a good deal.
I hope it's well attended. You just share it was 52 seats deep. I hope it's full, just because.
Yep.
The more that understand that, or more that can get in that mindset, the better for the present and future.
And like you said, moving in the future, let's get this fully participated. Maybe there is another dimension to where you do bring in some race car drivers, and we talk this through, because maybe as an official we think the rules and procedures should be this way because this makes sense, but maybe there's something from the driver's aspect that we can correct, or that they have that they can bring to us, and maybe there's some correction.
Yeah. They might say, well, the situation is because we're actually already turned and coming off the corner where you think we're aggressive coming in. We're actually turned and throttled up again.
Yeah.
Where you're sensing we're still off the gas turning. I don't know, something along those lines.
Similar to that. Yep. Mm-hmm. There's always something.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in the race car, I see it completely different than the official seeing it. I'm just telling you. And whether I seen it the same way or not, I seen it differently.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, as we watch sports and they go to the replay, you're like, "Ooh, I called that one wrong." But and we don't get replays here, so with that said, I think that our calls are grounded and decent. I mean, I really do. As I've shared with people, if you're in a bunch of calls, you're the problem. Trust me, I've been around it long enough. And even good, clean drivers make an error, and they pay for it.
He says he has drivers coming that'll hopefully help tell the officials what they feel is a even playing field. So
you got it covered, John. Good for you. So I like it.
Good deal.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Fear of the Rear making moves. I don't know where we're going to go with that. I guess us for having a show. I don't know.
Oh my! Hang in there.
All the fans and everybody, the racers that made it through the winter. Well, it's not. Winter ain't over yet.
No,
we're still only in March.
No, it's the last day of winter according to the big calendar. But we live in North Dakota. So, I think we got a couple of 70-degree days, and then I think we got a 20-incher white rain. So because I've lived here all my life, and that's usually what happens. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's
nonetheless,
everybody
we're just
that
weeks away from practice days and
everybody
car
that
shows and
took the time to put new bodies on your car, to clean up your car. I mean, the Saturns are doing one hell of an amazing job again. They keep
Kyler
posting
and Lon
Facebook
are
stuff
painting
and
stuff all the time, and
the effort level put in over there is crazy in my world.
Still, I mean, they're still hitting it hard years later. So good on those guys.
Everybody that's going to get their car ready in time for the car show. The car show needs race cars. The car show needs participation. Hopefully you come out and enjoy the car show. What'd you say? We're 2 weeks away or 2 weeks?
2 weeks from this Friday they go in. So Adam shared he was 22 wraps.
Yeah,
need to be installed. Him and his shop and people are doing it in the evenings. So he's doing everything you're supposed to do to accommodate. So good on Adam and the gang. So Billy's helping him. Raceland had spring break, and she was upstairs helping do some overlays on some wraps. That was exciting to see young people involved.
Yeah.
Jumping around on a sad note, in the racing world, we lost Richie Mann.
Yep.
That is a sad deal. Was able to attend his funeral today with I was able to drive up to Stephen Pfeiffer's and
you rode with Stephen.
We rode together up there and participated in Richie's celebration of life.
That was kind of a shocking deal. He wasn't.
Yeah, he was okay and went to bed Sunday night and didn't wake up. So
that's crazy.
67 years old, and what a shining star in the community of Estevan. I'll say, of course, I've only known him on the racing side, but he owned a welding business, and his wife had 2 boys and stuff there. But what I saw there was just an outpouring of support from the community. As I shared with the racer people that was there, it was great to see them. I just would rather see them at the track than at these events, of course, and whatnot there. But
it's kind of our second big loss of the off season up there. Devin Gonis, we lost him earlier this year.
And then Ed Turnbull lost his brother Al. Been
so
struggling
third
with some stuff. So yeah, so they actually had a 3
third
deal
one
there. So if they say it happens in 3s, hopefully they're good for a long time. So.
All my cords fell down. I got tape holding my cords up. They all fell down on my lap here. So I was trying to retape it as you were talking. So I got it all done.
Again, we got to get some production and maintenance going around here. What do you think?
Yeah.
So with that said, as you shared, I was able to get together with Stephen. We got together, got caught up, if you will. We've talked about Sladen a little bit. I want to touch on him. Sladen is going to pilot a sport mod this year. The car is rolling. It's a Harris car. His is under the hoist. Stevens is on the hoist. And in his own words, I got to get going on these. And I know if you know Steven, he's a 3-day car builder. It's impressive. It's kind of like Santa's workshop. I think things are flying when he gets going.
What we were kind of talking about it on Saturday at Harper's birthday. Is it one of Steven's old Harris cars, or did they get it from somebody else? He didn't dig into that.
I don't know that. I don't know the record. I don't know the history on that. Why don't I know that? I should know that. But at any rate, Sladen was there. He also had spring break and stuff like that. And again, just to touch on our young people, if you will, I was touching on Raceland there. And, of course, we're enjoying watching Sladen grow up and stuff like that. Sladen's in baseball, so we were able to go there, come back in time to, even though it's spring break, they still got baseball training, and he's able to get back to that. But they're busy getting trailers cleaned up and figured out and all that there because they're going to have 2 full-size cars now instead of, his slingshot and the mod. It'll be a sport mod, A mod program. Stephen looked like an Estevan Nodak was going to be full-time and wanted to make it to Underwood as much as possible with the sport mod is what he shared. So I'm excited to see that. Again, just our young people. It's fun to watch them go through their school sports and stuff like that and learn the adult scheduling and all the things that come with it. You touched on Max a little bit. Maybe a little bit of frustration. We will whip him into shape. He has no choice. Got too much community around him, so we'll get him going. But young people doing adult things at a young age. It's fun to watch. They will grow up to be community or pillars of their community.
Yeah,
that's how it happens. You learn how to schedule and stay on schedule, and that's pretty soon you're making decisions for other people. So it'll be good. Yeah.
I got Jenny's messaging me here.
No. Well, we invited her to stay, but she
wouldn't put the third headset on.
A little bit of stage fright.
Yeah, she
said she wasn't made for cameras. This is you fit right in.
Couldn't get that through to her. I thought it'd be fun to have the better half of the beater side on here.
Yeah.
I don't know how much talking we would have got out of her,
well,
but
she was pretty talkative without the camera on, so I don't know.
If she only knows that I had it recording the whole time and I'm going to play it back at her 50th wedding anniversary or something.
Yeah, she'll kill you.
She's probably watching. Upcoming schedule, I guess we kind of gave it to you with the car show. We're 2 weeks this Friday.
Yep.
And then
like I say, weekend of practice after that. Mandan Saturday, Minot Sunday, Easter after that, and then Mandan opens on Fridays, doubleheader Saturday, Sunday. And be ready or wish you were.
Crazy.
It's here.
Crazy. I know in the broadcasting world, it's a lot like racing. I mean, I took a better part of the winter off, but I got the equipment out, cleaned it all up after, we went to, I had the soundboard and stuff all dirty from
Watford.
The indoor race in Watford.
It didn't seem dirty, but the equipment was when we loaded up. So.
Oh, yeah. So I cleaned all that up, kind of did all my organization. I got my big computer out. I got it working its magic over there, being updated, and hopefully I'm ready. Hopefully it's no different than having a race car. You got to go through the equipment every year and make sure it's all up and running.
And at the end of the night, if something isn't working, make a note because it'll be Saturday in 6 days and we'll do it again type of deal. But if you didn't enjoy it last week, broke, you ain't going to enjoy it next week. And if you don't remember, it ain't going to get fixed. So
kind of, I know there's a lot of people out there watching all over the place. I'm going to be real with everybody. It's an abbreviated schedule for Darn TV. I'm going to concentrate on the Minots, the Estevans, the Willistons. Underwood, when you guys want to broadcast some races, we'll be there. The Underwood stuff is most likely going to be camera only, like no graphics, no on-screen graphics, no live timing. For the simple fact is my number one job in Underwood is to be your guys' race director.
Yeah, we appreciate and we want all that.
And I'll get the video out there for everybody. But as we discussed, there's only two producers kind of in this world that can do this stuff up here without me trying to find or train somebody. And it's hard enough to find volunteers at a racetrack, let alone somebody to run a production crew. Because I can't pay a whole bunch. There's not a lot of money for me to start paying people. Then it just doesn't make sense for me to do it.
Yeah.
And
well, we've been leaning towards. I was trying to lean towards Jenny, and she wasn't taking the
picking
bait.
it up.
So Peyton's not in the room, but she was getting the call. So.
Yeah, she's the one. She's the next one in line. I keep telling her all the time. She's the next one in line.
Yeah,
so
she certainly knows her way around the racing scene. So
Tim Pittenger said that they attended the Midwest Motorsports Expo in Rochester. It was amazing. Something that he would like to get going in this area. Vendors, promoters, roundtable meetings, swap meet, officials meetings, track scheduling meetings, etc. was all going on at that event.
I'd really like to see that come back. With that said, I'm going to interject that when we were at Watford, John had a swap meet. Of course, we wanted to be there. We just couldn't be in two places at once. We'd made the commitment to be in Watford. So going forward, let's not do everything on the same Saturday. It's a big winter. Yeah. Nobody did it on purpose, but nonetheless, I want to be a part of swap meets. That's my bread and butter there, my gravy or whatever you want to call it. So steak and potatoes.
And Tim, we have visions of our car show being that. What you're talking about, it's been that at times. It just props to that Midwest Motorsports Expo for putting it all together and getting it all, because it is so much work to try to coordinate and get all that stuff going on the same weekend.
And the good ideas.
And the other problem we run into up here in North Dakota, we're so far away from our vendors.
Yeah.
To get the vendors to come up, they're in Iowa. They're 12 hours away.
Well, how far are you from Minneapolis? 550 miles? Yeah. That's like 12 hours. Well, 10 if you pay attention. 8 if you really pay attention. So.
Yeah. And then the other thing is sometimes I feel like we're a divided state. I mean, you have us up here in the northwest corner. We trickle down into Dickinson a little bit, and then you have kind of the central stuff, the kind of down Mandan, Jamestown, and then you have the eastern stuff, the Devil's Lake over there. It's just kind of, we're kind of splintered into groups, and we up here do our thing, and they down there. There's no right or wrong.
There's no wrong.
There's no
but
wrong.
But it is different.
But we all kind of do our own thing, and we don't drop our egos at the door to go to this round table stuff. We all go in there with, no, we want to do it our way.
Well, yeah. I tell you what, the first thing to learning is don't assume you're right about anything. You might be at the end of the day, but it's interesting to hear people talk.
And maybe there's a day where John's official meeting, he can coordinate the official meeting and doing the parts and stuff, the swap meet stuff, and we can put it all in one place at like the event center down in Bismarck, or we can get it all in one place, and a car show. Guys bring their cars, drivers are there. We can all get it going at one place.
Well, back to that Mandan swap meet that John kind of reinstated there. I can tell you in the 90s with John with Frontier Auto, I mean, it was the event of the spring, given we could live through it. It was a doubleheader, but it was fun to bring down new engine builds and stuff like that, and just get caught up with everybody from the winter and get stuff going in that direction. So IMC has introduced a spec motor of their own, something you can build and be and get the 2-inch blade that the 604 gets. So looked like that was doing okay in some early racing. So maybe some of that will get going down too.
My comment on that is the guys that had it in,
we're good anyway.
They were good anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That's what I'm saying too. But we'll see.
I don't think that spec motor had really anything to do with.
You can fix your own oil pump if you have to. That's nice. So
Dylan Thornton is going to win with a crate motor.
That's what I said. He's
a wheelbarrow,
bicycle,
or a spec motor.
Yeah, or a 604. So
yeah, I mean it's
true that. But there's other guys interested, and that's exciting.
I think
we need that parity. We need that. We need that beer drinking in the grandstand type of.
We need it's
excitement.
Not drama. It's a little bit of controversy, a little bit of this guy here has the spec motor, this guy here has the crate motor. Which one's better? It gets the talking going on. That's one of the more exciting things you have in the sport mods, and now it's starting to come to life in the hobby stocks. The built motors are coming back in both them classes,
right?
And then you have the guys that are.
It's some dialogue.
Yep.
I mean, it's some discussion. To reflect back in my beginnings, or what I call the golden days, Leo ran around with a big block Chrysler. Hank would have a big block Chevy in every once in a while. I mean, we had some parity there. We had something to, back then the small block will rev faster than the big block. Well, you see the stuff side by side, and everything ran pretty good. So
yeah.
But then everything turned into the cookie cutter 604, modified program, and so it's nice to see maybe some ways to do it differently without it costing an arm and a leg, or keep it durable and things like that.
I have no idea the cost of them spec motors, but I heard they weren't cheap.
Yeah. It's one thing racing hasn't been ever is affordable, but yet it still exists. So here we go. Yeah. Oof, no kidding.
Hot Sauce Fantasy, are you thinking about your.
Well, I shared the day with Steven, so but again, this is, I don't know what I'm doing, and it worked good for me last year.
Are you starting to get all your ducks in a row? Like starting to find your little duckies to get them?
Yeah. Well, so I got kind of thinking about that a little bit today, because of course I was with my ringer.
Yeah.
With my ringer Steven, but I don't know that I'm going to be in rotation for him again, so I don't know how the cards unfold here, so you got to be looking around. So, but I kind of thought it'd be nice to have Smallsy and Craig in here. Maybe make this a four horse race.
Should we cut it back to 2 drivers per person?
Maybe.
And have I think we add a 4th chair. I got a 4th chair.
I'd like to see Craig in here, because I like Craig's grandstand deal. So if hot sauce is cool with that, hot sauce. Let's stop and do the hot sauce.
Oh yes. Since we're on hot sauce.
Yes. Let's start it right. Congratulations to our boy, coach of the district, coach of the region.
That's huge.
Yeah.
This is a.
I was talking about young people earlier. Let me go on a rant here. Isaac, you are awesome. I mean, you are coaching young athletic men that are going to be pillars of their community. It all starts at this level.
Yep.
You're doing it, Isaac. You are doing it. Good on you. That is so cool.
It is.
That is so cool.
We sat there. We sat and watched the district and the regionals, and it's unfortunate. One of the best teams that Isaac has been able to put together with the boys and the coaching and everything working well, unfortunately ran into some juggernauts. There's just,
I'll lay the cards on the table. It's the toughest district in the state. I mean, holy cow. Holy cow. And that was proven in a couple of games there.
It's crazy. The Velva Aggies, it just blows my mind. The Velva Aggies were a top 10 team in the state, and the only games that they lost were to the 3 other teams in their district.
That's what I'm saying.
They went into the regional as the number 4 seed.
They were cursed by being in that region.
They went into the regional tournament as the 4 seed, having to play the number 1 seed from the other district. So District 5 and 6 go together.
Yeah,
so Ray was the number 1. Ray was the number 1, Velva 4. And Velva beat him by 20. Sandro's group beat him by 20. That's the level of competition right here in this area.
Yes.
And then they come out and Velva puts up a fight, and they bring the Bishop Ryan game all the way back to a tie game.
And you and I went to the weekly show,
earlier. And Velva couldn't make. Unfortunately,
the ball wouldn't go in.
Yeah,
the shots were good, but they didn't go in. So they were going in on this one though.
They came back from like 16 or 18 down to tie the game, and it was a nail biter.
If you've taken in a game like this, that's an accomplishment. I mean, you run out of hope at the 10-point mark. I mean, that's kind of the.
I know. Heck of a season, Isaac.
Salute, man. Not just for coaching, but for leading young people in the right direction.
I don't know.
So
I don't
cool.
know what a plan is for next year, but man, wouldn't it be fun to follow Isaac and just broadcast his basketball games all year? And then we could put a stepometer on him. What is it called? A petameter or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
and we
pedometer.
Pedometer. We could have it in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Isaac's steps.
Yeah. He hasn't moved. He's 1,500 in. He's marching in place. Well, man, just so cool. Just so cool. So
it's so fun to see the racing family doing other things in life, doing everyday things that you can relate to and
doing it well. So that's cool. Yeah, I know they wanted to make it far. They just cursed by, just like you say, a dominant district region.
And I haven't got any updates on Harrison lately.
Well, he's got a facial expression every now and then, and Isaac, lays it out what he thinks it is, and it's pretty much fitting. So I can hardly wait to see what he is in 10 years. So settle down, Dad. There'll be another day. I can't. Good job, man.
Robin says good luck to the West Hope Sioux this weekend at State. They start tomorrow.
Yeah. Walker's the real deal.
God, he's good.
When he's playing right, he is in his own world. So
he is. So, and you think about that Velva Aggies team. So Velva played West Hope in the third place game for another chance to go to State, I think, that's how it worked. And my old insurance guy, Shep. Why can't I remember his name now?
I was going to say Kyle, but
both he was the quarterback for the Velva Aggies football team. Walker Broughton, I believe, was a defensive back quarterback for the West Hope football team. Ben Shep. They're both going to NDSU to play football, so they're going to be teammates, and they just went up against one another in basketball. So it's kind of a fun little twist.
That is interesting. Yeah.
But I don't think either of them are going to be on the offensive side. I think they're both going to be defensive side.
Wow.
It's kind of a neat deal. It's one of them little things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're little things, but really in the moment they're pretty big things. And
then I just got word. I mean, we're going all the way. We're not even talking about racing stuff, but
this happens.
The Minot High player from last year, Dissette, that went to NDSU to play basketball, is coming back and playing at Minot State. So they're going to get a couple local players they get Ramsey Walls from Bishop Bryan, a couple other players go to Minot State. That's going to be a pretty stacked team. So
I didn't catch Doucette was coming back. That was, yeah.
I just got word from
player.
Jenny. Jenny gave me the word. So Corey Palm's checking in. He says, sorry he's a little late to the party. Levi Runge checking in.
Hey.
Jeff Barta checking in, saying he's a little late. Hey, Barta, is it about time for you to make your way north or what?
Say, the geese are flying over. It's your turn.
We were trying to find somebody for the third chair, Jeff.
Yeah.
And I actually thought about you, but I knew you weren't in North Dakota.
Oh.
Because I thought, how fun would it be to have Jeff Barta
fun. We gotta
sitting
have a Jeff night. Yeah. 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 Again, the geese are flying over. It's your turn. So.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so Isaac Sondrel, hats off to you, bud.
That was so cool. I know the finish isn't what you wanted, but if you know, you still did. Wow.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You played tough. You played real and persevered when it was tough. So. Mm-hmm.
But and then Isaac also makes a pretty good announcer at the dirt track racing world in Underwood.
Make a pretty good announcer at our banquet.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did really good.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. Good guy.
So
good
the
job.
fantasy, let's maybe we shake that up. Maybe Isaac will watch this. He's probably not watching live. He'll watch it later on.
Yeah. He does it. He does the windshield in the morning. So.
Yeah.
But I like that 2 deal. I mean.
Bring in Craig.
It kind of lost its smoke when a couple of a couple of us just had drivers that didn't show up. So maybe we need to do a mid-season shake or something.
I took my own kid and my own brother, and neither of them showed up.
Well, I was with you guys on Sunday, and we're just not going to play that emotional card anymore. They're going to have to. They're going to have to perform. They're going to have to be there. So
yeah,
I think Brock's ready. We got to shake on Max a little here.
Well, he'll be at Nodak. I'm going to make sure his dad and mom we're going to make sure he's at least at Nodak. After that, it's up to him. I mean, I think it's important that he still he does this stuff. If we just give up on him, he'll just play video games the rest of his life. Nobody will see him. So,
we're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
It's video games. There's worse things in life. We'll fix video games.
Yes.
Unplug it. So, So I'm all jacked up for the fantasy. Let's see what Isaac comes up with. He's always got a twist to it that's fun. So it'll be good.
Yeah, we'll put him on it. He's our fantasy sponsor.
Yeah.
So.
It's his deal. We just play by it. I don't know anything, and it worked. So.
Yeah. So with that, I guess, Brock wanted 4 hours. We've given him 2.
Well,
he just have to listen to us twice.
That's what he said. We're like, I don't know, it gets kind of long. And he goes, nope, I need 4 hours. Oh, that's because you're driving to Fargo. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, you're not the first one to say that, so.
So we'll. I don't have anything
Slayton
else.
was going to stay up and listen to it, so hope practice went good for Slayton. Again, enjoyed the day with Steven. It wasn't the right event, but it was a quality day with the Pfeiffers.
Slato, watch for a message from me or Peyton, because I'm trying to get Peyton more involved in this darn TV thing, and he was looking for a few sponsorships, and I told Peyton to reach out, but I don't think Peyton has yet. So look for something.
There was rap talk going on today, so you're not too late. But you're not too early. So
right.
So
look for a message.
Get that cooking. So,
we'll do. Darn TV wants to be on the side of your car. We'll do something. So
pretty exciting. So,
but with that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I see it's dark out, and that means it's got to be around 9.
It is 9 o'clock. 9:07.
It is. Okay. Well, it's a school night.
Central Daylight Time now, not Standard Time.
Yeah, daylight time. I think most people want daylight time all the time.
I think probably, but us racers, racetracks,
our selfish racetrack providers want daylight, or
want standard time,
because then we'd be like Estevan. Yeah,
but most people want the later light in the summer, so that way they're at the lake. Or
we touched on that.
Yep.
I mean, you can be playing softball and things like that outside without lights way into the evening. So. And
we take advantage of it a lot, too, not turning lights on in the summer, starting at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Going till,
Almost don't have a light bill.
Right.
We don't have one in late June through July. So that all adds up to something, too.
Yeah.
We'll just have to prep tracks better. So
I guess with that,
are we going to do this again next week? So do we dare say?
We're not going to commit to anything.
We should get on schedule. We got to get in training.
I'm not going to commit myself to anything.
You found some music. Oh, boy.
I had it playing earlier. I ran down about 30 songs here as our show was going, and I went back to this.
Yeah. You made sure it was something I didn't know. So,
well, it's because
I can't know anything because it's copyright.
It's copyrighted. This music I play is good for Facebook because I don't get in trouble for copyright infringement. It's royalty-free music. So,
which leads us into the show.
This.
You get what you pay for. Nothing. So,
well, I mean, this one's called Motivation. I've played this one before.
Have you?
Does it kind of get you motivated?
I'm not sure.
This one's called Good Times. We had some good times tonight.
Sounds like we're starting into something fun. A little Footloose or something.
I mean, if we could do tight-fitting jeans or something, we would.
Hey, tight-fitting jeans is going together. Tight-fitting jeans is green. So we got tight-fitting jeans. We got Fear the Mullet. I don't know what the new car is going to be. Maybe we should have a little contest.
Oh, yeah. What should go on the back of Jordan's new car?
The new car. Yeah.
Fear the Mullet.
We got Fear the Mullet on the yellow one.
Tight-fitting
jeans on the red one.
And when you say yellow and red, it's green with yellow numbers and green with red numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people are going to go, well, Jordan, you don't have a red one or a yellow one.
Yeah. But I do. If you know, you know. So, yeah, I got a yellow and a red one, and not so. Yeah, going by the skirting that I have, this car is going to have to be fluorescent deep dark green with a lime type light green skirting on it. So I don't know what color the number is going to be. I don't dare ask Jed. I worked them pretty hard on what I got. So
I did purchase the spot again next to you up in Estevan.
I heard.
So
yeah. We're 1-2.
We're 1-2 right there again.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping for another one, but nobody opened up along there. So
Crew's going to hang on to 3.
Yep.
It sounded like Adam was going to be able to get over by Chris and Marcus. So
over in that area.
We're going to call that the pit area, and then.
So if Max,
you're close to production, I'm in the way, and then we got the tire changer at Chris and Marcus and Adam. So I think everything's right.
If I'm not there, Brock's going to park there, or vice versa, or whatever. One of us will be up there if Max isn't going to come, or it might just be an open hole next to you if it's just me up there with Jenny or something.
I park all crooked then because I can get out easier to be exact.
Have you had that spot since the beginning of
since day one?
Wow.
When they opened up, I was the first one there, so I just went down to the end of the line and parked because I should.
Yeah.
And other than COVID, I've wore it out. Lynn and Ken Murray have been gracious enough to help me out with the price of that. This year it's Ken, and I seen Lynn and Ken both today, and Lynn was teasing him, you beat me to it, and he was pretty proud of that, and Lynn's doing better. That's good to know. So,
yeah, that's good. That's good. I miss seeing her at the gate and miss seeing her walking around and stuff. She came the end of the summer. She kind of come back a couple times.
More so. I don't know that they really ever did figure out what was wrong with her. She looked great today. She looks better every time I see her. She's getting closer and closer to being her good old self. So.
And you got to see him today, but how excited are you to go back to Estevan?
Oh man, yeah. Even today, even though the event wasn't right, the friendship was, and Estevan's it's an energetic community.
It's just like that.
They're excited to do things.
I only had a 1-year COVID break because I went back the following year. I think I did what I had to do to go back.
Yeah.
And then you guys, everybody else kind of had a 2-year COVID break.
Is that what? Maybe even 3.
Maybe even 3
seasons, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right because it was first 2 seasons, then the third one I went back. I was there a year before you guys were.
See, we went through 24, so we didn't get back till 23.
Right.
Yeah. 23, 24, now this will be 25, so.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And as crazy as that was, it almost is hard to remember in its own weird way, other than it kept us from the freedoms we want. So,
but you go, we went 3-4 years without even really getting to see them guys a whole bunch.
I know it. That's just what it was, and
just makes you appreciate it even more now, or you hope you appreciate it more.
Yeah, it does give you time to reflect, and
boy, this is
you're wondering where the world's going.
If you want your mood to go down, this is a killer one.
Yeah, we need some Hair Nation here, dude. Let's get it on. So, yeah. Okay.
Well, for Jordan, I'm Brandon. I think we're going to be done for the night.
All right.
So,
Our last warning.
I didn't play the Texas Red commercial. He said he has a new one. I'm sorry. I did not download the new one yet. You said you sent me a new one. I have not downloaded it yet.
They were out kind of touring. They had cool pictures on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Texas Red, I apologize to the Beavers. I spaced it out until right now. You guys sent me a new one. I seen it. I have not downloaded it yet.
I'm going to be about a month away from tilling up the garden.
So
They're getting 6 inches apart this year. That's where I rookie farmered this thing. I'm coming back.
You're coming
I got
back.
seeds from last year, so you're going to get me twice. We're going to grow some corn this year. All right.
Okay. We're out of here. I'll make it up for you next time, the Beebs.
All righty, guys.
Thank you.
Get working on your cars. Let's go to the car show.